ask for help, it will come. That is a golden law of this cosmos. If you are humble enough to bow your head and sincerely ask, even just a little bit for help, I can guarantee that it will come. You must possess the eyes to see that help and the ears to hear it though. Hey, it's David. Welcome back to the channel. I'm a Special Forces sniper turned meditator and yogin. I'm also the director of Kailash Ashram, a traditional meditation and yoga retreat out here in the mountains in Australia. We share life-changing meditation and yoga retreats as well as ancient wisdom to help you cultivate genuine, lasting inner peace and well-being. Your happiness is our priority. What is my favorite thing? What an open question. How challenging is that? I had a really interesting experience this week where that question was asked of me. Holy moly. Like what? What do you pick? Even as I say that to you now, what is it that comes to mind? What's your favorite thing? It caught me off guard and I started with the normal things. Is it my wife? Is it the kids? Am I meant to prioritize one? Is it this or that? I don't know what to do. And then I let go. And when I let go of the mind and allowed my favorite thing to come to me, I realized something quite remarkable. My favorite thing is, it's nothing, no thing. It's a strange thing. It's actually, well, the one that breaks the game. Nothing for me is everything. And this is one of those cheesy lines that any spiritual person can just throw, oh yes, nothing's everything and everything is nothing. Like, what the hell does that even mean? Well, for me, my journey in terms of relating to the nothingness has been interesting, to say the least. I was agnostic. In fact, I went worse than agnostic. I went full atheist when I was a teenager. I was so arrogant and so sure that there wasn't a God that when all of the kids at school would politely, even if they weren't religious, they would at least politely bow their head when there was a collective prayer going on. I was like one of a handful of arrogant kids who would be like a meerkat with my head up and eyes open, looking around, making sure that I could see all of these suckers who'd been taken advantage of by these cruel religions that just wanted to dominate and oppress and crush people, and this bullshit God that didn't exist. That attitude, that belief carried with me right up until I left high school, where I promptly joined the Special Forces and, set about trying to kill people. So, it wasn't exactly an image of saintliness, but I was a deep thinker and I thought that the answers would be found in philosophy, in astrophysics. So I began to read quite broadly. Paul Davies, a beautiful Australian astrophysicist, I thought that the more that I could get out there, the more that I would feel at peace. I would find someone who has an answer, who has the answer, who has everything. And I searched. I tried. Having joined the army, I then subsequently began to deploy to Afghanistan several times, and life got pretty busy and chaotic, and it'll make a really good video one day. I hit a breaking point in my life where no amount of juice would come from that frickin' orange anymore. I squeezed it for everything that it had. I was juicing pulp and pith and nonsense, and all I was getting was acrid, bitter, nasty shit out the other side. There wasn't even citrus oil coming out. I had squeezed my life for everything that I needed. I began to break down. I was addicted to pornography, alcohol, a very, very toxic self-relationship. And I began to break down. I remember the day that I asked for help. Now, I have no fucking idea what I asked for help, but I remember that I asked for help. I cried, I sobbed. It was like a horrible scene. I felt like kind of a bit melodramatic doing it, but like I had a breakdown and I slid back down the wall of my apartment, having a 7-year relationship end. She cheated on me whilst I was in Afghanistan, as an aside, and broke up with me by email. I love you, Talia. Good job. Look, I've got nothing but love for her. That's actually true. I'm not taking the piss. I wish her the best. And it was a courageous thing that she did to set me free so that I could pursue my destiny. In that moment that I broke down and I was weeping to something for help. There was nothing there. There was nothing. Just me, miserable, hating myself, out of control, drunk, depressed, addicted. And yet I still asked nothing for help. I didn't think that help would come. I had no clue what was in store for me. That moment of asking for help kicked off a massive spiritual awakening. I hesitate to use that term because it is so new agey and cliche and trite, and that is not what my experience was. I did have a little bit of a crystal and cards kind of phase, but I opened in a massive way. I realized that I was full of shit and that I hated myself and that something needed to change. A couple of months later, by the grace of this nothingness that I asked for help, help started to come. I learned a really valuable lesson. When you ask for help, it will come. That is a golden law of this cosmos. If you are humble enough to bow your head and sincerely ask, even just a little bit for help, I can guarantee that it will come. You must possess the eyes to see that help and the ears to hear it though. It wasn't a booming voice of God. David, this is God. Yes, I'm here to save you. It wasn't like that. Other human beings came and offered me genuine reflections of parts of myself that I was hiding from or judging myself for. And I went through a really rapid period of transformation. Some months after this, the Himalayan meditation practice entered my life, taught by Swami Shiv Krupanand, a yogic master from India. This is a story for another time. It's a pretty good one too. But that meditation practice came into my life and confronted the hell out of me. All I got told to do was to sit down and let go. And I'm like, okay, so I let go, and then what do I do? And they were like, well, nothing. It's surrender. You don't do anything. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, but I kind of understand what meditation is, right? Like, so I follow the breath. No, you just do nothing. Like, do I say anything inside my mind? No. Do I stop my thoughts? No. What if the body hurts? Well, then that's okay. You just don't do anything. Holy moly, how long do I have to do this for? They're like, you're not doing anything. You just sit there for 30 minutes. Don't do anything. Just sit. Thought to myself, these people have lost their mind. Like, this is nonsense. How on earth can you just sit down and choose to do nothing? And then I sat down and I was like, okay, sock it to me, baby. Give me everything you've got. I'm going to sit down and I will do nothing. And it was excruciating. It was horrible. It was horrendous. My legs hurt. My mind was busy. There was no bliss. There was no tranquility. There was no like heavenly virgins and angels descending on me. No, it was just painful. At the end of this retreat where I'd been taught this Himalayan meditation practice, they encouraged me to keep doing it for 45 days. I'm like, great, that's something I can do. I can do a challenge. I can do this meditation for 45 days. So I thought, well, okay, when I sit down to meditate, I'm not allowed to do anything, but I will do the challenge and I'll do the hell out of the challenge. So I did it. 3 weeks after starting that meditation challenge, I had massive realizations. I got out of a relationship that wasn't serving me. I quit the army and actually pursued a life of genuine meaning and peace. It was a game changer. 30 minutes of letting go, of pure surrender, of doing nothing brought me into connection with what? Nothing. The same nothingness that I had feared as a teenager, the same nothingness that I had spent my whole 20s trying to fill with stuff and things and experience, that nothingness was there. And I didn't need to do anything, it's just there. And it's just here, and it's in me, and I'm in it, and I can just be with that. And then the tears started. Oh, the tears, the ocean of tears. Months and months and months of deep catharsis, of sobbing, of recognizing that even though I had turned my back on this nothingness, that the nothingness had no back to turn on me. It was there. It's emptiness. It's void. It's beyond. It's pure consciousness. Some people call this God. Some people call this soul, Atman, Paramatma, Buddha mind. It doesn't matter what it's called. The force of nature, the force of evolution. It's just something bigger that isn't a thing. And when you sit in communion with it, when you sit face to face, proudly, not doing anything, in full submission, in surrender, that is the yogic activity of dhyan. That is meditation. This is ancient meditation. Sit down, shut up, don't do anything. It is not what I got taught. It is not what I thought things were, which is that everything is just a matter of application and effort, and if I just keep striving, I will be a master of something. No, this was like going and sitting under a waterfall. You just sit there. You don't need to wash yourself under a waterfall. You just let the water run over you, and that's the nature of the water. The nature of this nothingness is that it is permanently, eternally that. As a human, on this path of yoga, cultivating the meditative quality inside of me, sharing it with hundreds of my students out here at our ashram, I have no greater joy in my life than to reintroduce people to that nothingness. It is the responsibility of the individual soul to take you into that space. I can't teach you to do that. That is something that you must uncover yourself. And it is an absolutely exhilarating journey. My belief is that if you form a deep relationship to that nothingness, that not only will it sit there as my favorite non-thing, that it may well indeed become your favorite non-thing too. If you're interested in learning this very simple, very accessible non-practice of letting go, we put our thoughts together in a little meditative challenge to give you the best possible start with your journey with Himalayan meditation. So make sure you check out the description. It's called 7 Weeks to the Soul. I cannot guarantee that your life will or won't explode 3 weeks in. I don't know what's waiting on the other side of your soul for you. For me, it was a game changer. And I implore you, if you are curious, to give it a go. Make sure though that you definitely like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm new to YouTube. I don't really know if that's how you're meant to say things. I don't even know what the channel is going to be called. It might be David Wegman soon. It might be Kailash Ashram. It might be nothing. Maybe God is going to just strike this one off the face of the earth so that no one spills the bean on his secret, that there's actually nothing you got to do in order to meet the boss upstairs. He's here right now. Watch out. Much love. Whatever this is. I've had some fun. I hope you have fun. I love you.